Here we are playing black. 2573. Definitely on the come up here. Um, yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be good. Okay, d4. I'm going to play knight f6. Going to go with the BOGO. The BOGO, the... All right, I really want to play two knights tango against the London. From what I understand, it's not that bad. It's going to get pretty crazy. We could definitely play d6 here. The whole idea of the two knights tango is to go for a dark square strategy. Knight d5 looks interesting. No, knight d5, honestly, I gotta stop fooling around like that. We'll just play g6 and bishop g7. I'm just biding my time. At the moment, d5, e5 is not a problem. All right. Just waiting him out. There. So now he can't really push d5. Queen e8 should be good. Yeah, let's go with queen e8. This is classic King's Indian style stuff. I'm not sure what that move's about. I'll play b5 here. Not really sure what his bishop is doing. His bishop should be on d3 in these structures. Well, I guess in this position we always have e5, e4, but y'all know what I mean. Okay, e5. This is looking great. It's definitely looking like it's time to go. All right, what to do here? What to do here? If I play bishop e6, bishop takes... Yeah, what are we going to do here? I mean, I can always play e4. Yeah, why am I not playing e4? The knight can't go to d2 in this position. We have to be a little careful because knight g5... Okay, yeah, knight g5, d5, I'm dropping this pawn, but then I trap his knight. e4... Yeah, e4 in general is a little bit risky with this bishop here, but at the same time, does he have anywhere good to go? He's playing knight g1. I'm really not sure if I should be worried about that. Yeah, I think he's so far from getting anything here. I haven't conceded. As long as I keep these pawns like this, I'm not conceding these dark squares. That's the really important thing. In the past, I used to concede these dark squares all the time, and I got into a lot of trouble. Walked into way too many cabbage patches back in my day. All right, we'll play h5 here. This is a classic idea to reroute the knight to g5. I guess I should keep an eye on this, though. a4. Bro's getting frisky. I don't know why bro's getting frisky, though. Like, ultimately, he's way behind in development here. I'll play b4. It looks weird. As long as I keep these pawns like this, I don't think I can worry. Honestly, I gotta check. Hopefully everything works with this. I'm trying a new setup for recording this video. I had been recording on QuickTime literally for the past year since my trip to Asia, but now that I'm in a more stable location, I have a monitor. I downloaded OBS, and yeah, hopefully this looks good. If this works out, then I'm gonna be able to record these videos much quicker. Because in the past, I was just using QuickTime to screen grab to do everything. That was due to the fact that I was using a laptop that had very little memory. I didn't want to overburden it with OBS. I mean, we're waiting here, pal. This is a very weird position here. If he plays knight f4... This bishop is just a little bit uncomfortable here, right? Now that my rook is looking down here, and if he ever plays c4... c4 actually leads to a weird position, because on the one hand, I really want to play c5 to lock these pieces in against this pawn. But at the same time, the problem would be with c5 that then we're opening up this bishop. I think we need to continue playing carefully. I like h4 a lot. I like h4 a lot. Look at that. Just taking some more control. In the future now, I could play knight h7, g5 without having to worry about h4. Another thing is that if he puts his knight on f4, I'm not going to have to deal with this long term because I can always play g5 now. In the past, he would have liked to be able to play knight f4. Sorry, still got the broken mouse here. We're taking the improvements one step at a time. Knight f4 and h4, and he has a pretty stable setup there. But yeah, by pushing this, I can always play g5 at the right time. Yeah, this is a very tricky position, honestly. Look at this. If knight f4, I can even take and play rook b2. This is really problematic here. Knight f4, I could even play a5 and bishop a6. Very tricky stuff. c4. I even have ideas of b3 here. Look at that. b3, bishop takes, knight b4, knight d3. That's an interesting sacrifice. b3, knight takes, knight b4, bishop b1. His pieces are really bad there. I don't think I need to be doing this, though. I'm just realizing now I have 3 pawns on my 5th rank. This is getting good. We're watching greatness in the making here, people. It's time to go. Okay, let me put... Is there anything to worry about? Let me just put my bishop on f5. Just overprotect this. I want to facilitate knight h7, g5 ideas. I don't really see what that does. That's a very wimpy move, honestly. It really... He's too afraid of this b3 push, and because of that, he's just doing this voluntarily, but it's wasting a critical tempo. It's weakening c3 more. I don't believe in it. If you ask me, I just don't believe in it. Now that he's played b3, he's weakening these squares a bit more. We could be playing for c4 here. Let's put the queen on e7. I'm waiting for him to play knight f4. If he plays knight f4 now, look at this. I have takes, e3. That is a mess, because then they're just fireworks. The whole board is erupting in fireworks. It's a jubilant celebration of fireworks. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird, but it can't be bad for me. Can't be bad, might not be good. It's time to go. Queen b1, what is that move about? Why won't bro just castle already? I hope he castles so that I can just play queen e6 and go for checkmate. If I play g5, he plays f3. That's his whole idea. My bishop would be hanging then, so I gotta be a little careful. I feel like now that his pieces are so bad, we should be playing for c5. It's gonna improve this bishop a little, but, you know, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Let's start with rook. Well, which rook should I even be moving? I don't think this rook needs to be on b8 any longer. Let's put this rook here. Because, yeah, actually, it looks like things are gonna develop on the king side. That's where the action's going to happen there. All right, well, now can't I play... Yeah, I can play knight d7 now because this pawn is protected. This is exactly what I want to do. I'm going to play g5, bishop g6, and slowly continue expanding. Bro can only hide in the cabbage patch for so long. No, he's not hiding in the cabbage patch, excuse me. He's hiding in the cutter's chest. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. The reason I know that term is that there's a really famous boiler room. There's a really famous mix where this guy, Nicholas Jarre, is mixing audio over this radio segment describing college basketball. And yeah, one of the announcers says they're now in the cutter's chest. And I still don't understand what that means, but yeah, kudos to that guy. He serves as massive inspiration for this channel. g4, that is a very interesting move. If we take, they take with the knight. I could play g5. I could also take. I could also take, and then play e3. I don't know. I don't think that works, though. Bishop e6. g4 is a great move, honestly. I completely missed g4. We're going to take here. He takes this way. Okay, so now can I take e3? I feel like that works, but man, that's a messy position. That position is unbelievably messy. What about if I take, and take with the bishop here? Then he takes here, I take, he throws in a check, and I go here. I don't think he's going to have any attack there. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. I mean, maybe I could just play queen h4. If I play bishop e6, he's going to win this pawn. I do not want to give away the pawn. Bishop e6 takes... Yeah, I don't even have g5 there. The knight is covering g5. All right, let's go for this. This is going to get messy. And I'm not talking about the soccer player. Okay, there, takes. I think I have fantastic compensation. Look at that. I've gotten 2 pawns, but I've gotten by far his 2 best pawns. Now this pawn is able to move. There, I have so much compensation here. I plan on analyzing this game, so I don't even need to go... I don't even need to dive too far into the details here, but I don't think... Oh, okay, yeah, there's... we got an issue here. Queen d1 is going to be a massive problem. All right, yeah, let's play king h7. I now have to play rook g8 extremely quickly. No, actually, what am I talking about? I think I'm still doing fine. Maybe I didn't even have to play king h7. Yeah, I actually didn't have to play king h7. Queen d1... I just got really scared of queen d1, but queen d1, I have queen h4. And bro has nothing there. I'm threatening the bishop, threatening the pawn. I'm the one threatening checkmate there. He plays bishop g3. I could even take on h3. But I'll probably play queen h6, actually. It makes more sense just to keep everything covered. King h7 was completely unnecessary. I should have stuck my king here. I got a little too afraid, and I don't understand what king h7 does, honestly. There's no difference. There? All right. Yeah, all king h7 is done. Look at this. Now if I play f4, he takes with a check. It just makes this position a tiny bit worse. Here we could take and then play queen h4. That looks great, honestly. I feel rook g8 first is even better, though. No, then he trades and he can take here, because I don't get a check with knight f1. We could also take here. Yeah, should I go for that? What am I doing in this position? I really don't know. Like, this bishop is much better than this rook. I feel like his bishop is more important here. I'm going to go for this. We could definitely go for either. I mean, if I had taken here, I would have a lasting compensation. He would have lasting compensation for the bishop here. All right, let's play rook g8. I think he's in massive trouble here because I can always check and take the third pawn whenever I want. My knight is ready to hop into greatness with on e5 or c5. All right, man, we're waiting here. I'm legitimately waiting. It's time to go. There's only so much to discuss. King e2, I just did not see that move at all, if I'm being honest. King e2 is a good move. Queen e5 looks good to threaten queen h2. Yeah, what exactly is he going to play against queen e5? I feel like queen e5 is the move. Yeah, let's just go with queen e5. We'll figure out the details later. Another thing that this move does is it also hits this rook, and that's going to be critical. If he takes back here, I can play rook g8, and he can't put his queen on a normal square like f2. I feel I should be winning here, but it's, you know, it's still tricky. Still got to deal with the cabbage patch and whatnot. He plays queen f1. Okay, queen f1 makes sense. Yeah, let's start by taking here. Gonna play rook g8. His queen cannot move to f2 now because I'm gonna take this rook. Okay, well I take the rook, don't I? He takes on f5. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna take on f5. This is getting a little bit cheesy. I think king h6 is the way. Yeah, king h6 is the way because after every other if he plays queen f4, then I can play king g7. I didn't want to do this because then he'd play queen. Actually, king h8 would have also worked because queen h5, king g7. My king is in the way of the rook, but he's no longer attacking the knight. Yeah, if he takes here, he's getting mated. Queen f4. I could even maybe play king h5 if I wanted to get frisky, but yeah, there's no need to get frisky. All right. Bishop e4. That's an interesting idea. I don't see exactly what that's threatening. Well, it's threatening this knight, actually. I see exactly what it's threatening. I think we could just play knight f6. Yeah, queen f4, I can run this way. And I'm okay. I'm out of the weeds. I'm going to play queen e5 next. Bro has to try to start checking, but I don't think it's going to do anything. Check here, check. Okay, if I go there, I'm getting mated, but I could just run this way. Yeah, bro doesn't have anything here. Yeah, just queen e5. Simple stuff. I shouldn't rush to take this because his knight actually might be doing well once it gets to e4. This has to be completely over. This many pawns are fixed on light squares, he's losing. 100% he's losing. Just rook h8. Let me just take this pawn here. Yeah, chess is simple sometimes. Okay. Let's check. e4, building a concrete wall, limiting the bishop. Yeah, this has to be over. All right, that's a good game. Let's look at this game review. How'd I do? How'd I do here? All right, that is a wild graph, man. What a wild graph. 86.4 though, I'll take it. Let's look at this review. All right, so here, got the two knights Tango. Yeah, classic idea here is that if d5, e5, you're okay. This is pretty shocking stuff, honestly, but it's definitely going to bamboozle your London playing opponents. So d6 here, the whole idea is we are just waiting him out. We want him to play d5 so that then we can play e5 and go for something akin to a King's Indian. All right, so man played h3, bishop g7. I just started waiting around. Bishop b5. This is very strange. I didn't understand this at all, honestly. It just doesn't make much sense. If he's going to play the London, he should be putting the bishops on h2 and e2 and castling. All right, so man played bishop b5. I played a6. We did this. We got e5 in. e4. Apparently, I'm just supposed to hold the tension. Look at that. I'm just supposed to play queen e7. He castles here. We play e4 now. Once he's castled here, because we have a pawn now that's so far advanced, we're going to have a lot of space on the king side, and we can easily play bishop f5, queen d7, and play for sacrifices against his weak king side. So this, yeah, this would be a lot better. I rushed. What can I say? I got impatient. I'm a man who likes his space, and because of that, I just saw a way to claim a little space. Of course, you do need to be very careful here. Do not push this pawn if you've already compromised these in some way, because we do not want to awaken the dragon. Don't awaken the dragon, trust me. It doesn't end well if you awaken the dragon. Already walking into the dragon's den is enough of a problem, but at least don't awaken the dragon. So h5? I thought h5 was good. What am I supposed to do here? Knight a5, bishop c2, and then what? Knight c4, interesting. Look at this. Takes, takes, and we got the classic crab claws digging in everywhere. Very good structure here. Double pawns don't really matter here because ultimately I have a fantastic square. I think I'm going to put my bishop here or my knight. Look at that. Knight's going to go perfectly in the treehouse. Can we get a blue square here? Look at that. Yeah, that deserves a blue square or... Where's the other? Where's the yellow? Give me the yellow. Where is the yellow? Anyway, I played h5, a4, b4. I thought b4 was fine. Oh, he plays a5 and his bishop is coming back here. Yeah, this is a classic Roy Lopez idea. Look at that. Bishop comes back here, knight is going to be uncomfortable. Queen is going to feel a little frisky. It's not looking good. All right, so b4, knight e2, rook b8, bishop c2. I played h4. Apparently supposed to put my knight in the treehouse here. That's very weird. Yeah, I guess we're just holding on. And I guess, yeah, actually, unless I do this, he's going to play a5 sooner or later, so it's just a good move to do. Yeah, this is strange. I think anything could happen in this game. I thought I was significantly better here. But yeah, as the computer indicates, I don't really have an attack here until he castles. Computer is saying he can castle now, though. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, if I play bishop f5 and just play for checkmate, what's he going to do? Oh, knight g3. Yeah, knight g3 is an issue, so I have to play h4 first. And, like, what is his plan here? This is bizarre. Computer keeps on saying that he's just going to make completely, like, passive moves, but he's better somehow. Bishop f5, takes, takes. Where is the knockout punch? I'm just waiting for it. Knight c3, queen e6. What's the plan here? Apparently, I just can't sacrifice here. I thought I could. Queen e2, I can't sacrifice here. Takes, takes. Oh, wow. Yeah, he just takes here. I have nothing. Once he takes here, he's going to play f3. He's connecting everything together. His queen is going to be able to come to the defense. I don't have an attack here. All right, that's interesting. I'm learning a lot about chess, honestly. Yeah, normally if you get like this many pawns on the 5th rank here, you should have a big attack, but there are a lot of exceptions that can occur if they've already parked their bishop in the nook. They park their bishop in the nook, you got to be a little careful. Don't just leap headfirst into the dragon's den. That's not going to work. So bishop f5, b3. Yeah, I thought b3 was a mistake. Bro was afraid of b3 pushes, but ultimately this just wastes time and weakens some squares. Queen e7, queen b1. Yeah, this is so interesting. Look at that. So it seems like both of us thought that white could not castle here. I thought he couldn't castle because I was going to go for an attack. Apparently here he just plays bishop f4, and again, does this do anything? Takes, 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 knight takes e4. No, I don't have checkmate. I literally have nothing to attack here. The only thing I could try to attack is this, but his bishop is always covering it. This isn't going to do anything. He could even just play f3 here, and he's going to kick me out with knight f2. This is terrible. All right, so man believed it. I thought I had a kingside attack, and man believed my bluff. Man plays queen b1. I play queen rook e8, bishop f4, knight d7. Apparently all of these are just mistakes. Bishop f4 is a big mistake. Knight h5. Pushing the bishop out, and what is the plan here, though? Oh, I bet it's going to have something to do with knight takes d4. Look at this. There. Okay, well, queen g5 is really strong now. Look at that now. Now I'm not joking around. Now bishop takes h3 actually does work here. Even here, where's the win? Bishop takes e4. Look at that. Takes, and h3. Everything is breaking through here. This is really cool. I would have assumed, though, also that there's going to be knight takes d4 tricks, because now at this point, just look at this. There's just way too much pressure here. All the pressure is going to blow. e3, I have threats of takes. If he takes here, I take here, and his queen is already tied to this, so if he plays queen d1, I can just take on c2. Yeah, dude is definitely losing here. Anyway, what happened? I played knight d7, a little inaccuracy. Man plays g4, I took here. Apparently if I just play queen h4, I'm just winning. That actually makes a lot of sense. Look at that. My queen is hitting this, so now I have ideas of knight takes d4. Man is going to have to try something like bishop g3. I would have played queen h5. I guess it doesn't want me to trade queens. Yeah, queen h5, I'm just giving him a tempo to play queen d1. Instead, queen h7. Yeah, queen h7 looks fantastic. Look at that. I'm just going to sacrifice here soon enough. Queen d1 takes. I assume bishop takes. Yeah, and I got f4 coming. I got e3 coming. His rook is also hanging. Now that I've gotten this pawn out of the way, I can swing my knight to e5 or c5. This is just a dream position here. Fantastic position. All right, so I took on d4. I got a little too frisky in the cabbage patch. What can I say? He takes, check. I definitely thought king h7 was inaccurate. Ultimately, I'm just putting my king in the sniper's sights here. Should have played king h8. I saw queen d1 and I was really afraid of queen d1, and only after playing king h7 did I realize that, yeah, queen h4 will cover everything. I'm hitting the bishop. I'm also hitting the pawn. If bishop g3, I could take. Oh, e3 is beautiful. e3 is stunning. Look at that. Sacking the queen, but takes. We take with double check and then checkmate. You know what? We're going to checkmate with style. You got to checkmate with grand style. We're going to make a rook. Beautiful, beautiful checkmate. All right. So I played king h7. Man played bishop e3. I took. Played rook g8. Apparently I'm supposed to check here. Yeah, check here. I think I check again. Yeah, we're going to check again, and look at that. If the king goes back, then ultimately I've just improved my queen significantly. Now he's never going to be able to move up. He has to try to keep his king on the second rank to keep things coordinated. There should be something now, though. Knight e5. And what's the idea here? Knight e5 if queen d1? Well, then we could just push his king back in the way. Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole issue here. This is a really nice position, honestly. This is very instructive. The whole idea is that my queen has too many checks here. Depending on where his king goes, I can always push his king back and forth. And because of that, his queen has no idea where it even is supposed to go. Because if the queen goes here, for instance, we push the king back in front of it. Meanwhile, if the queen instead goes somewhere like e1, then I'm just going to leave it there. The joke's on him. The queen's already bad, as it is. I guess the queen has to go to f1. But even here now, we play knight f3. Yeah, knight f3 is perfect. Look at that. Hits the rook, hits the knight. If he takes here, we take, and we start munching on the apples. We take here, grabbing like 5 pawns at the moment. Now at the... Okay, yeah, I don't have 5 pawns here, but I have 3 pawns. His king is weaker. His bishop's completely pointed into this concrete here, so it has nothing to do here. I should switch around those colors, honestly. It's a bad bishop pointed into good pawns here. King h8 is a beautiful move. Look at that. King h8, he can't take with check any longer. I'm going to play rook g8 next to trade off his rook and then just try to invade down the g file with the remaining rook. This is completely winning. He also has to be on guard for queen d4. Completely winning position. Anyway, I botch it. I play rook g8. He plays king e2. I play queen e5. Apparently queen h4 is slightly better. I don't really see the difference. We got to keep it moving. So takes, rook g8. Dude plays queen f2. I take. I thought he should play queen h1 to keep an eye on the rook. Yeah, but here I can always play queen c3, though. These pieces are just very weak here, right? These pieces are not defended by pawns, so they're always going to be they're always going to be a liability for the rest of his pieces to have to defend. Computer's pointing out that he could sacrifice the piece back here, and he'd be doing okay. Yeah, this is going to get very uncomfortable otherwise. If he plays something like rook c1, I play rook g3, I'm starting to power down on this pawn. He could try to hold on with knight f1, but we play something like rook f3. No, he takes here with the check. Oh, yeah, no, he takes and he's hitting that. Yeah, we can't do that. Okay. Gotta play rook g6 here. Rook g6 is the magic move. Yeah, he's completely tied down here. Look at that. He has an extra piece, and yet in terms of moves that make sense for him, he only has like 3 moves that don't hang anything. He has this move, and queen h2 here. Everything else, every other move by his pieces hangs something. And that's a bad sign, if you ask me. All right. So dude played queen f2. I took the rook. He takes. Apparently this is just a mistake here. Oh, he has a draw. I didn't see that. Look at that. Check, check. If I go here, he's just going to keep checking. If I go here, he's going to keep checking this way. Yeah, this is perpetual. I didn't see that. All right. That's very hard to find, though, and especially he only had 2 minutes. I completely understand his decision. It makes a lot more sense to just try to take a few trinkets, take the pawn, take the knight, try to get back in the game. King h6, apparently this is a huge blunder. I should have played king h8. No, apparently that's also a blunder. Apparently now check here, and what's the deal? Check, he takes. Yeah, and he's pushed my king in front of my rook. I don't have enough play here. I need to get this type of position with my king out of the way of the rook so that I have checkmate. All right, I played king h6. Apparently this is losing. What am I supposed to do? Rook g6, takes, queen g7. I saw this position, and in my head, I thought that he could just trade queens and immediately take on e4. I didn't realize that, yeah, his queen is actually hanging here, so he can't take on e4 effectively. And if he takes here, I could take, and I'm getting out of the pin in time. This is not going to win for him. I should be completely winning here. I have an exchange for a pawn, but my knight is great. His pawns are worse. This is going to be completely winning. Just depends on my technique from here. So I played king h6. Dude took. Apparently if dude checks, I'm in trouble. Because now king g7, then what? Check. Yeah, he's able to force the issue. Look at that. If I ever go here, he's taking with check. If I go here, he has mate. So I'm forced into this uncomfortable position. King f8, check here, and we got the same position as before. My king is pushed in the way. I do not have this checkmate here. He's been able to get 2 pieces for the rook. And yeah, I'm just going to be losing here. He's going to take next when his bishop and knight cover more than enough squares around his king. All right. Luckily for me, though, the dude blundered. Dude took here. I played knight f6, a great move, just covering everything, keeping an eye on so many important squares here. Also shielding this diagonal so that now after this, if he checks here, I can just hide here and there's never going to be a perpetual now. Yeah, so dude played h4, I played queen e5, and the rest is history, as they say. I just took. Very easy position to win. Anyway, thank you all.
Time to go!